YouTubers, it's George's Farmhouse here. Today I'm going to teach you how to transplant some parsley. Parsley is mainly an all year round herb. I've got two types here. I've got Parsley-CURLINA, which is the more kale type parsley. Then there's Italian parsley, which is the most common type of parsley that's available. And a lot have different varieties of parsley, so they're easy to for people to choose from what they're after. So start off with the things you need. Let's start off with the potting mix. So my desk is a bit unorganised. Now, when it comes to potting mix is one of the number one topics on repotting or transplanting. I'm going to teach you the method of transplanting on these seedlings, the parsley seedlings, into pots. So like these sort of pots here. These are 140 ml. If I could read it properly, these are 1.5 litres and 140 ml. So we'll be using those today. So this pot holds about 1.4 litres. So if you're doing like heaps of potting, like as you probably heard in my intro video, I run a nursery, my own personal nursery in my own home, my own yard, and I normally do a lot of transplanting, and sometimes I take them to Sunday markets. Well, most of the time I do, if I've got the stock. So I'm going to teach you my method of transplanting into pots like these. They're good to have for when you're selling stuff, like what I do. And also into the ground. I may show you in a different video on how to transplant into a ground, which I might do in my future maybe. But at this time I'm going to teach you how to put one into plastic pots like these. Alright, so when it comes to potting mix, like I said, you need a good quality potting mix. In Australia, there's two good types of potting mix that's available. In bags. So there's one brand actually sells in a bigger, larger bag, and another one sells in a 25 to 30 litre bag. The first one is Osmocote, which one I normally use. The brand is called Scott's. It's called Osmocote Professional Premium Potting Mix. There is another bag which is higher than this. I think it's called the Premium Plus. I live in Australia, so in the southern parts of Australia, so it can be quite cold down here, so it's worth getting good quality potting mix. This one has 4 months feeding, wetting agent, growth stimulants and trace elements. This is a 50 litre bag. I pay roughly about $15 for a bag, just to be exact, just to be roughly. It's cheaper than that sometimes, but normally I'm just gonna put out $15 on the spot as the closest round up to this bag. And this potting mix has never let me down. I have used a different brand called Rich Grow. That's mainly bark and hasn't got any fertilizer in it. I never had good success with that, so don't buy that. I'm not sponsored from anybody about using their products, but I'm just showing you for them educational purposes, and I'm purchasing my own money, my own business money. So the next thing is tags. These are 135 ml propagation plastic labels. You will need a Sharpie or a pen marker. I preferred fine tip just to be on the safe side. And also you need your pot and also seedlings. In this video I'm going to use the Curlina parsley. So first of all is to get your pot mix and top it up in here. I try not to waste any of my pot mix just because it's very expensive pot mix. The Premium Plus costs more, I think it's about 15, about 20 bucks, 20 odd dollars. So this is definitely a much more effective and much more cheaper way to do it. So I like to compress it down, and then get your seed rows, your sprouted seeds. Get rid of the tag. It's an old tag. Now these are very young. These have been growing in a greenhouse for about almost 2 weeks, for about 4 or 5 weeks. The reason they're small is because I planted them just before this winter, and eventually the winter has just been so cold down here, just not even worth growing. So these are very moist, quite soaked actually, because my sprinklers are pretty high flow LITRE power. So I'm going to use one of these. I use cell tracks just to be on the safe side. There you go. It's not very much roots, but it's worth it. Then sometimes when there's not very much roots established, that's normal for parsley because they don't have the best root system normally. Just compact it down, try to center it so it looks more better. Just gradually grab your hand and just feel it side. And there you go. That's basically transplant. Now it looks very deep. The reason because I do that is to make sure that the stem of the actual plant of the parsley is supported. Because sometimes when parsley grows, it can be very stringy, and sometimes when it's stringy, it means it's not getting enough sunlight. So normally when they're young like this, when I first transplant them, I put them out in the sun, water it for a little bit, and I would recommend fertilising this with seaweed fertiliser for about every 2-3 weeks. There's 2 ways to fertilise it. You can use a watering can. Just be careful what watering can, how far the spray works, because sometimes the weight of the water can be quite heavy and damage to the stem and make it so stringy. That's quite common. Most people make mistakes with that. So make sure you can water with the hose. Just put it on low pressure or mist if you can, and you should be fine. And there you go. You can write this down if you want to. I'm not going to because I've already got a stock full. So basically that's how you do it. I will make a separate video on how to do the Italian parsley. So yeah, thank you for watching. Enjoy your day. Thank you for watching George's Farmhouse. I hope you have a good time watching my video. Hope you learned something, and subscribe to my channel for George's Farmhouse. Like the video, comment down below, and just be a patron on my Patreon page called patreon.com/George's Farmhouse, all in lowercase. and thank you for watching. Enjoy your day.